back to Aging Well, monthly production of Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services. It's our final segment of Aging Well for this month on memory cafes, and we're going to talk a little bit now about dementia-friendly communities. We're going to sort of broaden the discussion out, and for that discussion we've welcomed Annie back into the studio.
Thank you.
And Nancy's with us, and so yeah, I guess basically dementia-friendly communities. Can you give me a sort of an outline of what that's all about?
Sure, I'll let you start and fill in if that's okay.
Oh, that would be fabulous. Thank you. So it's for those people who are living with dementia, it's having organizations and communities take a look at their community, whether it be the parks, whether it be community activities, whether it be access, whether it be hospitals and places where people who are older visit more frequently, and looking at them and making sure that they are accessible, but also the environment is accessible. And the nice thing is about the dementia-friendly initiatives is that part of that is the memory cafes is actually goes to the support piece of the dementia-friendly communities.
Oh, that's great. So it's a step forward in that area.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea is that individuals that have some memory loss or some forgetfulness are not generally just sitting at home. They're out in the community, they're going to the library, they're going to the bank, they're going to their hairdresser. But it can be a little, overwhelming or perhaps confusing for the individuals that work in places, in the, the kind of our local public places, or for the individual with memory loss. We want to make sure that the people in the community are sensitive to individuals with memory loss and know that there are supports like the memory cafes, like Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services and the Councils on Aging, where individuals can go for more information and support.
Oh, that's excellent. So the memory cafes are definitely one piece. Can you tell me a little bit about anything else that's happening in Somerville and Cambridge with Dementia Friendly?
So Somerville and Cambridge has gotten together and hosted a couple of joint breakfasts where we've developed a working group in Somerville and Cambridge that includes, of course, Somerville-Cambridge Elder Services, the Council on Aging from both cities, as well as the mayors from both cities, and some other interested parties that would be really great to be part of the movement. And it combines the dementia-friendly initiative along with the age-friendly initiative. So a lot of the senior centers have the age-friendly, but the dementia-friendly kind of takes into account some of the social pieces as well as the awareness campaigns. And I think some of the great initiatives that are beginning to start, it's just in its working stages now, a core group has been put together, is some of the purple table reservations, and that is people in restaurants can set aside a certain table that is for those with forgetfulness or memory loss, whether it's dementia and Alzheimer's diagnosis, but also other disabilities as well, in a sensory-free environment. And is a little more catered to their needs, and so that they can still participate in the community. A lot of the great discussions we've had in memory cafes is over the reorganization in Somerville and Cambridge of the bike lanes. And so the bike lanes, people who are used to driving and used to parking next to curbs, it has been difficult to adjust to parking your car out in the middle of the street. And so some of the memory cafes, we've discussed how you adapt to this new environment. And again, we want to include people, but we also want to include people with bicycles as well too. So it's all about inclusion as well.
Sensory-free environment. What's that?
So it's, so you go into so for the purple tables, you go into a busy restaurant and sometimes you get seated outside the kitchen, or you get seated near the front door where there's people walking. And it's a lot of distractions for somebody who has forgetfulness or memory loss. And so you take a table that's kind of set aside, but it's still part of the restaurant. You're still getting the same service without all those distractions and noise and some of the limitations that come with dining out.
And areas for improvement. Have any of those been recognized? I know it sounds like you're in the very early phases of the discussions. Has there been anything targeted for improvement?
Yeah, I think Like we were talking about earlier, I think growing things like the purple table idea to include more and more restaurants, and then to focus on groups, like hairdressers and banks and places where, older adults might go, or just any adults really, because we've learned that memory loss doesn't just affect older adults anymore, and people are out in the community and they can be and doing what it is that they like to do. So making sure that our local businesses have an understanding of memory loss and where they might be able to direct someone if they're starting to see confusion to the point where it may be a little unsafe. An example of that is often banks. If individuals are coming in and taking money out every day, maybe forgetting that they'd taken money out the day before, that bank tellers know that they could call Elder Services or the Council on Aging to get more information and support, or that they could direct an individual to one of our organizations or to the memory cafes. And the memory cafes can sort of serve as a gateway to the other services that might be available. So that's one area that I think we would like to focus on in our communities.
So
Those are great suggestions. Yeah.
non-elder specific organizations.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes, but that organizations that certainly serve elders, or any adults of any age. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess maybe money management might be one of the programs they could be referred to under the bank.
Exactly.
Example.
Yes. I mean, yeah, managing money is probably one of the first sort of areas that might start to show some unsafe behaviors when someone has a memory loss. And of course, as you know, we have a memory management program or money management program that could be a great benefit to an individual.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, we're just about out of time. If there's anything else you want to add, I was just going to say that there's definitely more information online about dementia-friendly communities, and we're going to have the information on that posted during the show, so people will see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add before we call it a day?
I think with the work group, there's a symposium coming up next month, which I'm going to attend, and I'm hoping as our work group develops some plans from that symposium that we do some community town hall events to kind of get other people involved in the conversations. And like Annie has said, discussing with banks and hairdressers and place where grocery stores where everybody visits, pharmacies, and really getting people engaged in the conversation. It's been very successful throughout the state of Massachusetts.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
I guess I'd just like to add, if you're an individual who thinks you're experiencing some memory loss, or if you're a caregiver, or if you're a business owner or work in a business in this area and you want more information either about the cafes or memory loss in general, to give us a call or send us an email to either us or the Council on Aging, and we'd be happy to kind of start a conversation about what information and supports are out there.
Thank you. You guys have been fantastic guests. Thank you so much for joining me here today in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have this month for Aging Well. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.